So the next stage is applying these materials. We've got the chameleon material, the accessories, and the metal base, which will have different colors, but we can't see them yet. We need to look at our material assign node. So what this node is in the template is what's got a group stack node, and this is a special type of node which combines other types of nodes. So we can drag in certain types of nodes into a group stack, and it stacks them up. It sort of groups them all together into a single node. So material assigns, as you can imagine, you end up with a whole bunch of material assign nodes. So we don't want them all in the node graph. So group stacks are great for that. I've just got a single material assign in this one called default mat MA for material assign, and I'm assigning default mat to root-well geo. So this CEL section here is the way we sort of do a selection. I think it stands for Common Expression Language, or I think I've got the C wrong. It's a basic expression language that just says this path gets this material. But you'll find CEL in all sorts of different nodes in Katana. Like, we're going to use attribute set later, no doubt. This can be set up for CEL as well, and we do a CEL section based off paths, collections, or a custom expression. And we're going to be using those. If that sounded scary to any artists that haven't done much scripting, don't fret, it's not that hard. In this case, I've just dragged in with a middle mouse, I've just dragged in the path into this list and it connected it. So anything that goes in the geo folder will get this default material, unless other specified further down the hierarchy. So that's sort of how it works. Let's go in and create some other material assign nodes and just show you how it works. If we hit the plus, that adds another material assign node, and I can rename it, and this is my chameleon material assign. Scroll down, grab my chameleon material into the assign slot, and now we need to make a CEL statement which takes care of all of that skin displacement section we were talking about. So for that, I'm going to come to my chameleon body group and bring that over and drop it with the middle mouse. I'm going to drop it onto add statements. And what that does is adds a path statement and puts our path we dragged on automatically. And you can see we now have the material on the chameleon group. Next, I want the accessory MA, grab the accessories, and grab the accessories group and drop that on. To show a different way, you can just go add statements paths, and you can drop it in that way as well. And this can actually, oops, wrong group though. You can highlight them and delete them if you make an error like I just did. And you can add, obviously with that error, you can stack up multiple paths in here if you like. So the next step is I want to assign the materials, and we're going to do that a little different. So this is going to be the metal material assign. And for this one, I'm going to make a custom CEL expression. And here, what I can do is I can grab the chameleon, I'm going to grab the top node and drop it here. And drop my metal base material on. So this is not doing anything at the moment, because what's happening is it's assigning the metal material at this top level on chameleon, but then I've got other rules that are saying no, this one gets the chameleon mat and this one gets the accessory mat. So these ones are lower in the hierarchy, so they're winning in the material assignment, which is how it works. But what I want to do with this is not leave it at root-well geocar chameleon. I'm going to go / asterisk metal. Got to spell it right though. Okay, so now I'm going to need to zoom in on my render a bit. So now I have metal parts. So everything that was named metal in my scene is now getting metal applied to it. I'm going to go in a little closer on my actual camera, because I've got a fairly low resolution going here on the live render, which is good to do. Save time. Okay, so this feature of Katana becomes super handy to get around. You can just select the objects in the Hydra viewer and frame up on them, but we can also use the eyedropper here and click on it and find the objects as well. So just a little tip that you can find the objects. You can click on here and select them or copy the path. It's a really cool feature of the Katana viewer, or the monitor rather. But anyway, so you can see I've got a successful metal assignment for all these, but it hasn't worked on a few things as well. You can see down on this object, what's this called? Chameleon belly straps. So, and rings metal large. Okay, so this is an error that I've put in here to show you something. So CEL, what this means is we've got // asterisk. So with just the // asterisk, that means to go downwards through the whole hierarchy below that point and check everything. So if I was just to do that, it's going to make the whole chameleon metal. So the // asterisk is a powerful thing that just force applies everything below that level. But if we put the metal word in, that means any object that ends in the word metal. So let's have another closer look at this. Rings metal large. It doesn't end in metal, it has metal inside of it. So what I'm going to do is put another asterisk on the end. So now what this means is anything underneath the chameleon that has the word metal in it at all gets turned into metal. So now we've got the metal assignment on that object. Next problem. We have some of these buckles and these buttons here, and what are they called? Belly strap buttons. But our modeler, or me in this case, has not removed this button from this mesh. So this belly strap object is all one object. So we have a problem. Katana is not a modeling tool. We cannot just select those faces and extract them in the traditional sense. It's not a modeling tool. It's not supposed to be a modeling tool. But we need to fix this problem. So what do? There's another cool trick with CEL and another thing called face sets. So what I can do, in my Hydra viewer, I can come to selection and activate select faces on this object. Make a marquee selection to select all the faces, and I'm going to do a hold control and deselect these faces underneath that I don't want. What I'm doing in the geometry in area is adding a face set create node. So what I can do with that is, with this selection that's still active, I can come up and go mesh location. I think I need to plug that in there. And then I go selection, adopt faces from last selection. And what that does is it creates a face set. Where does it do that? It does it here, and we give it a name. So I'm going to call this big belly strap big button _fs. So we now have a I'll just call it button fix or something. So now we have a way to apply that material. Okay, so now we've got our face set on the object. I can actually add that in a number of different ways to my metal _material assignment. So the custom attribute here, we can just do a space and add another path, and this can get quite long. We can actually add multiple objects, so if I just drop a path in, I'm pretty sure that works. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes I have found that you'll need to restart the live render to get the face set included. So yeah, keep that in mind, that sometimes it won't refresh. So when we've got two different CEL things, that actually enables another feature. So you can do union or difference or intersection as well. So we can do this plus this with union, but if we wanted everything except something else, we could do difference and things like that as well, like Boolean type operations. So CEL is super, super powerful. At first it might seem a little weird to people who are just used to just drag dropping a material. But when you have a big scene with heaps of materials and you open that shot 2 and all the materials have disconnected because of a drag drop sort of approach, Katana's rule-based approach like this is so much more robust. Whereas if your naming is correct, all the materials in many sorts of states of the model will get the correct materials assigned, and things will often just work when you open that second shot or that bring in that different animation data. You don't spend most of your time troubleshooting. You're focusing on the task at hand, which is look dev today. So we've created 2 base materials, and we've assigned the default material can just stay there because we're now applying over the top with the chameleon material, the accessories, and the metal. So next section is we're going to bring in our Mari textures, connect them in, and do some actual look dev, get this looking a bit nicer.